Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Krishnaya Paramatmane Namaha. So, by Lord Krishna's grace and Shri Guru's grace, today we will aspire to complete the chapter 6. There are only about 5 shlokas left, but they are again very important and reassuring part of Bhagavad Gita, which are very unique as we have been continuing from the last class. Yeah. So, where we are in the Atma Samyama Yoga is the Yoga Prashtasya Gatihi. If you recall, that is what we saw in the last one. And Yoga Prashtaha means one who was not able to complete the some objective that you have got in that particular janma, or whatever thing you have started in your abhyasa and vairagya, and that is still not attained siddhi. And how does it progress? Do I slip and fall? And all those sort of things what Arjuna asked, and we said, and what Krishna's assurance, we say Bhagavad Krishna ka guarantee, and how he mentioned about nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. And then he said, yes, between every janma, there is a progression of only advancement. There is no regression, Arjuna. And I can assure you, all the good efforts that you have really sincerely, with Shraddha, that you have invested, or really, I won't call it invested, that you have wholeheartedly, deliberately, you have taken your effort. I will set they are always going to fetch you much better in your advancement to moksha. And we also saw a little bit about, as we are all trying to balance in our spiritual progress between material progress and spiritual progress. And we can certainly differentiate between that. Certainly. As we learn more and more, we know, okay, fine. That is the very beauty of this Vedanta Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. The more and more we do the Mananam and Nididhyasanam, that's when we know, okay, this is also a kind of an attachment that, that is my pratibandham, or whatever it is. It is a prakrishena, that kind of a bandha is coming, but you know that, well, I am progressing towards a better. More and more you discover as well within yourself. And then there is also detachment that you discover. And Bhagavan brings that your detachment more and more from one janma to other janma. That's very important. Though the samskaram is a combination. Let's understand. I hope many of you understand what samskaram is. Samskaram is sanchita karma is papa punya, prarabdha karma, all of these things put together. That's one thing. But samskaram is also a kind of your environment, or the whole some of your own guna, the guna that you have, right? And that aggregate guna also comes with you in your sukshma sharira as we go. And then we saw that Bhagavan said in the shloka number 41 about a person who may also go in between punyakritam lokan, meaning to say good ones. Those are in between journey which are not that durgatim. So they are also kind of a punya gatim, and then you again come back. A conditional environment, a conducive environment is created by Bhagavan, because the conducive environment. See, there are two things we have to understand. Sorry. The conducive environment which are external are not in your hands, right? Which are created by Bhagavan. But your internal environment, that is very much within you. That is what Bhagavan will go a little bit into it today. Why? Because this chapter, in the shloka number 5, Bhagavan said, Tared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atvaiva ripuratmanaha. One has to uplift oneself, he said. Swaprayatnam, avashyakam. And in that swaprayatnam only is your closest friend, and it is also like an enemy that Bhagavan has given you free will also. Right? So there is an internal environment, there's an external environment. So what we saw in 41, 42 is the Bhagavan's external environment. So the shloka number 43, what we will see today is the internal environment, because you see, it is all very subjective and objective, isn't it? Your internal environment is subjective, external environment is objective. And only when these two interact together, there is a kind of a vyavaharikam, there is a transaction that happens. And with these transactions only, it is going to make progress. Right? So that is where Janma is born. Janma is given. So Bhagavan says, so I'll go into the Janma that Bhagavan has given you in that external environment. Suchinam, Shrimatam, Gehe, all those things he has said. Or Atava, Yoginam eva kule. Yoginam eva kule, what did I say? Daridranam eva kule. And this is Durlabhataram. So 90% of the people, it applies to the Shloka 41. Well, some of us may apply with the Shloka 42. That's fine. But in both of them, what Bhagavan says, which will start from Shloka 43, and we will endeavor to finish today's class. And please give all your attention from last class into this, because this lays a great foundation in your efforts. Please get a lot of efforts into this. So Bhagavan says, Tatratam buddhi sanyogam labhate paurva dehikam yatate chatato bhuyaha samsiddhau kuru nandana. Tatratam buddhi sanyogam labhate paurva dehikam yatate chatato bhuyaha samsiddhau kuru nandana. So Bhagavan says, hey Kuru Nandana. By the word he has asked Kuru Nandana, that is also his samskaram. Kuru Vamshe Jataha. One who was born in that Kuru dynasty. So there is some samskaram coming in that Kuru dynasty, where great Mahan like Bhishma Pitamaha was born as well. But Duryodhana also was born. So indirectly he is telling, so he has now, you are one who is born in this Kuru, Kuru, in the Kuru Kule, okay, in the Vamsha of Kuru. Hey Arjuna, Tatra. Tatra means what? The Yoga Prashtasya in this Janme, this Janma. Okay, whatever the Janma is. Tatra. What he says, in that Janma, that is in the next birth. I've given you some drawing by which I just try to, I will come to that later. So in the next Janma, the first Janma, you have already put an effort. And you have then passed away as a Yoga Brashtaha. Then in the second Janma, Bhagavan brings you back. In that Janma, that is the Tatra. Tatra, what? Paurva Dehikam. Paurva Dehikam is equal to Purva Dehikam. That means in the Purva Janme, in the previous birth, where you had a previous body with which you accumulated lot of samskara, in that, what you have accumulated from the previous birth with Krishna Arpanam, Krishnarpanam, everything, whatever that you have studied, you have learned, and you have done the self-inquiry, and that you have brought it with your Sukshma Sharira into the next Sharira. So from that Purva Dehikam, from that previous birth, tam what? Buddhi Sanyogam. That wisdom associated self-knowledge. Buddhi Sanyogam. The wisdom, that buddhi, that is equal to the wisdom that is associated with your self-knowledge that you have acquired through Shravana, that is by listening, and then Manana, by introspection, in cognition unto you, and then Nididhyasanam, that you have also applied it and then inferred it, referenced it everything, that this is my path and my drida, we need to say my steadfast path in this moksha is unshakable. At that buddhi sanyogam. Even in this, even whatever now you have done the mananam by hearting, it is also induced in that. Everything is in that buddhi. Buddhi can waver in the last minute, that's different. But whatever you have put it in your buddhi and that dridam, even 1 day, it is irrespective. He did not say dirghagala, that only if it did. Even whatever that one, whatever the time, span of time, I don't want to go into that, but span of time, you have completely involved and given to that. Buddhi samyogam labate. Labate means what here? You now get it back. This is again is Krishna ka guarantee. You get it back. That wisdom associated self-knowledge, he gets it back. Tatra buddhi samyogam pauradehikam buddhi tam buddhi samyogam labate. This is Vartamana. That he gets it now in the second deha. And then labate cha and tataha. See, every word here has got a lot of meaning which I have taken from Bhashya. Tataha means what? From that. From that what? From that? From the previous, all the janmas. Not just only the one succeeding the previous one. From tataha, because it's a cumulative accumulation of samskara. So tataha is equal to samskarat. Samskaram is the summum ultimatum of all the wisdom that is acquired in the spiritual path. In the Yoga Vasishtam, that samskaram is divided into 7 planes. I don't want to go there. But samskaram itself in Yoga Vasishtam has divided into 7 planes. But let's take it as a samskaram. Samskaram as my internal conducive environment. Put it that way, this is very easy to understand. That is why this shloka number 43 is more concentrated on your internal conducive environment, which is very important. That's what Krishna says. Yes, I bring certain things back to you, Arjuna, but you have to also take advantage of what you bring there. Tataha bhuyaha again. So tataha from the samskarat bhuyaha again bhuyaha samsiddhau yatate. To make it samsiddhau, to make it better. In this janma, yatate, he does put his effort. One is labate in this janma from the pauradekam, then in this janma, yatate. That complete, full-hearted shraddhaya yatamanam. That is what Bhagavan yatate. Again, when Bhagavan says yatate, that means there is no downward journey in this one, in the spiritual progress. But that yatate must be very important. Then again, so how is this upward progress further goes? Bhagavan explains in the next shloka. This is very good when Krishna says, yes, now I have coupled the external conducive environment to the internal conducive environment, and now the samskara is bringing with myself. And Bhagavan says, and how this strength of advancement in the spiritual progress from one janma to other janma, with both the environments together, Bhagavan says in the next shloka. Oh, that's one. That is shloka number 44. Let's see that. Purvabhyasena tenaiva kriyate hyavashopi saha jignasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati arthate. Purvabhyasena tenaiva kriyate hyavashopi saha jignasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. I would say this 44 also, please by heart it. Remember, keep it in your thing. It will come up to you to the next Janma. Whenever something happens, this is also as much as the Krishna's guarantee in this particular sloka 40, this 44 is equally important. So, Bhagavan says, Tena, Kena, by that, the by that effort or the samskarena. Tena, purvabhyasena. This is very important. That is why Bhagavan said, Abhyaseta kaunteya vairagyena cha grikhyate. That Abhyasam plus vairagyam put together, what you have done in your observance of and the observance and practice of the karma yoga, jnana yoga, that whole the yoga marga that you have put yourself with the complete dedication from the purva abhyasana. So the abhyasam, when I say abhyasam with the vairagya, it's included in that, is very, very, very important. Because that's what Bhagavan says, abhyasana vairagyana grikhyate. That grikhyate of your mind is also comes from every birth, and because of the purvabhyasena, because you have done that observance and practice in your previous janma with the karma yoga, jnana yoga, and everything, from all the previous purvabhyasena, eva tena purvabhyasena eva. The evakaram is even more important. With that alone, that power is so great. He says, avashaha, without your control. Vasham means it's in your control. Avashaha means even without your control. Avashaha api saha kriyate. Even without your control, involuntarily, that is the strength of the purva abhyasam. That will pull you to good path. That will pull you to the right path. For example, I will tell you, you've seen many of them, right? Yes, he could be in anywhere, but he's going on the road first time. Maybe he's going to actually see a picture. When you're all in India, when you're born, but you're going to see a picture, maybe you're going to the bus or something, and suddenly you hear, okay, I'm just winding back here, or say there's a Swamiji, say Swami Chinmayananda or somebody, he's some loudspeakers, there is something going on, Gita. What you will do now? Oh, you are going to see this movie. You bought the ticket. What you will do? You will get up down from the bus and you will go to that Gita Upanyasa. Why you did? How you did? You did not plan. You took the right metro or something to go, but you heard about that or you saw a poster. You get on from the bus and go. This I'm telling from my practical experience. Why you got down? Why you went on? You do not know. Then you find, okay, this is called Bhagavad Gita. Something strikes me. That is what this Bhagavan says, avashaha. Without your control, I will pull you back. Avashaha api kriyate. That's the strength of samskara. It will never let you do. It will never take you even to the wrong path. Even if you're wrong path means say we're just only going for a movie. But then you have now landed up in the Upanyasa. You never minded about, maybe you even bought a ticket with a lot of things. You never minded, but you say, oh God, I never knew about it. And for that, Shankara Bhashya, he puts one condition there. I'll get to next one. Next is very easy. So what? So let us take this one. Say this is the Purva Janma. Forget, my drawing is very bad. So, please don't laugh. Okay. So in this previous Janma, what happened? All of us are, there's no man who has not done any bad deeds or adharma, but you have done some dharma. With dharma, you've done some good deeds, and you've also with that done the spiritual progress by your abhyasa and vairagya. This good and bad comes from your material progress in the life. You never know. You do whatever it is, but work environment, your boss has told you done, whatever it is. So this good and bad is associated with the material progress, and the spiritual progress is completely your Atma Samyam Yoga, Abhyasa and Vairagya. And say this person dies. and this person dies. Sorry, I've just put him like a flat fellow there. Now, say I'm just telling you, like, good deeds, something I'm putting 40%, bad 40%, and yoga, say your yoga, something he has done 20%. I'm just putting for some namesake. What Bhagavan says here is, and the Purva Abhyasam, the Avashaka Hriyate, as far as that, the Dharma is more than the Adharma. Very important. Without the Dharma strength over the Adharma, that automatic pulling doesn't happen. Shankara's words. So what he says is, however, what happens is the adharma being stronger, say I've just put here 40-40. Say if the adharma is 50% and this is 30%, the adharma, whatever has been done, it has to give you some, uh, uh, what can I say, trouble, right? Papa, that you have to, that you have to suffer. That after it becomes, because once that get depletes, then the Kriyate Havashopisaga start taking effect. Very clearly, Shankara says, Chet Adharmam, if it is more than what, see, this is where I will tell you one very clear, my own example. So what happened? Then only it start taking place. Now, what happened when I was very young, say, for example, maybe 17, 16 yoga. And I was same thing. I was going around in the bus, and literally there is a big poster in Madras. Chinmayananda said, all youngsters come and ask your doubts. And Swami Chinmayananda is here in Chennai visiting so many in this place. It was in somewhere here, 4-store estate. And I was living in Basanagar. So I was going by that bus, actually going to something in city. But I just got down. I said, okay, let me go and see who is this. I don't know who is Swami Chinmayananda. So at that time when I went, I saw Swami Shuddhananda ji and Swami Paramarthananda. He was called Paramartha Chaitanya then. So I had some interaction and everything. Actually, I missed to go meet my friends in the city. I said, no, never mind. This is more important. Something happened to me. But then I joined Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. Then I was doing Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. So, but then, evening will come, I'll just rush and go to Chinmaya Kendra or something. I never was doing my Sandhya Vandan. Not that diligently. Sometime I will do, sometime I'll slip and I'll say, okay, when I get time, I'll do. It was not that diligent. So one of my uncle used to call me. He literally told me, look, Babu, whatever you do in this spiritual thing, you are thinking you are doing in this one, nothing will take effect unless you do your Sandhya Vandan. That's your dharma. Without doing, at that time, I never knew all these things, what I'm reading or what I'm sharing with you. But he told me, whatever you think you are learning and you are now talking about Vedanta, Atma Jnanam, this and that, everything is just like a parrot saying it's of no use. Literally, he said it's of no use. I was very offended. I said, what do you mean? I'm going so diligently. He said, no. If you don't do Sandhya Vandanam, this will not going to take effect, Babu. You want that to multiply in effort? Do your dharma first. That dharma with only will get you that fruit into the spirituality. So I started doing that. I said, okay, fine. If I will always give time for that, even it is, and then I may really experience the progress much, much better. From then I never dropped Sandhya Vandan. I mean, I'm just telling you. So that's where Bhagavan comes to say there that dharma is the foundation for spirituality as well. And so that is why when I have to tell you this. And so with the dharma, what happens? What happens? The more and more the next is janma, the yoga maybe takes a better effect for him. The yoga becomes, say, 40%. The good effect becomes 40%. By that, he attains a param gatim. You understand that? By that, one is more and more is increasing the good, and the yoga becomes, because now he's doing everything in that spiritual progress, the bad, whatever that particular thing, adharma, whatever, it slowly depletes, and then he gets a param gatim. And then, so this is one particular, and I will also tell you another thing. Between this, I can stop this one. This is just to give you that one particular one. Now, Purva Abhyasena Tenaiva, Bhagavan, how does he brings that? And why he should bring only the spiritual progress, but not the material progress? Just take a small journey as if I will take my own Janma. I can't remember my previous one, but let us just assume and travel through. Okay. Say I was born in 1961 in this Janma. Right. And say, for example, just only an example, and say between my this Janma and the previous Janma, I assume that there was some 10 years gap just for the count. I don't know. 10 days, 10 I don't know, 10 years. So in my previous birth, I died in 1950. Just take it like that. And around 1950, you can all work out something in your own thing. And in 1950, say an average longevity, say I take it as very good 60 years. I think it was even much less at that time in India. Say I take it as 60 years. So in my previous Janma, I was born in 1990. I'm just saying 1890. So my previous Janma, I was born in 1890. Okay, previous to that also, I had some good punya coming, good samskara. So I had some good education. So I was able to say, go to some school. So say 1890, I'm born. Say, for example, in when I'm 1905 or something like that, say I've studied chemistry, engine, some kind of a maths and Sanskrit, English, something like that at that time. So let's take one subject called chemistry itself. So when I observed in 1905, say you might have studied chemistry, in the, we used to have a periodical table. In the periodical table in 1905, there are only 50 basic elements, 50. Then in my current Janma, when I did chemistry, say around 1976, 77 and all, we had have 108 elements, 105, 108 elements. Today there are 118 elements. So would Bhagavan bring your 1905 50 elements physical periodical table knowledge into the current Janma? What is the point in bringing? Because it is got a shelf life. So what we must understand is the knowledge today. I may be you could study artificial intelligence, everything, but next Janma maybe it is not used because it will have a shelf life as well. So the crux of this is any material knowledge has got a shelf life. So it is not prudent for Bhagavan to bring that material knowledge in next Janma because it's inapplicable. Say we were talking about diode and triode and all those things in making a radio in the previous bit. What's the point in bringing it up? Because that's absolutely gone. So material knowledge, whatever it could be, you could have done the PhD in discovering something emancipant. Even Sir C.V. Raman, when he was brought the next Janma, he would not bring him that physical knowledge that he has got the Nobel Prize because it is gone. There is no point in bringing it. But my previous birth, the spiritual knowledge, how does it help you? Say, for example, in my previous birth, I had a child, I must be rejoiceful. And in my previous birth's father, when he died, I must have cried. This is universal. And in this sukha dukkha is permanent, is perpetual. And in this sukha dukkha, these atma jnanam, this particular buddhi sanyogam gives you that capacity to absorb and be internally deviate away from there. And that is sanatanam. That is ever. Even when next birth or how many births, when these things happen, you will be impacted. But at that time, this knowledge is always applicable. That is why Bhagavan says, this knowledge, I will always bring it. That is why these spiritual knowledges, that's why we call this eternal. Because it's got no shelf life, it's ever applicable. That is why Bhagavan says, Purvyabhyasena tenaiva hriyate hyavashopi saha. And that particular thing, and it will same. That is why we have to now understand. Now we understand why this spiritual knowledge is eternal, because the application of it is also eternal. And also, you must also remember that chapter 2 in shloka 40, I think Bhagavan says, Negha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate hyavasho bhayat. So, swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahator bhayat. That this particular one, that's what Bhagavan says, swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Swalpamapi, even the little bit that you put in the dharma, into this jnanam, trayate mahator bhayat. It saves you from biggest calamities. How? By the spiritual knowledge. So, and then Bhagavan further, so that's what is his Purva Abhyasana. That's why I have to explain a little bit long in this particular one, so that you know that every these ones will come with me, and that I'm going to now do my Abhyasa and Vairagya more in this Janma, as far as this breath, my pranan is going, so that this is the eternal investment, eternal one that is going to come with me, samskara, and not anything else. And Bhagavan further goes to say, in the 9, yogasya, he, sorry, 8, he here is he, Hyavashopi, he means indeed, because, why? That's what Bhagavan, whatever I explained, Bhagavan says, he also indeed, yogasya jignasu. Jignasu means one who is desirous of getting this Vedanta knowledge. Okay, he has been convinced, okay, this karma yogasya, buddhi yogasya, atma samyogasya, of that yoga, jignasu. Jignasu means jnatum ichasi, meaning to say he wants to now know more into that. He is automatically, for that abhi, even if he has got a desire to know the knowledge, jignasu api shabda brahma ativartate. Shabda brahma here means that material knowledge. You take a shabda brahma ativartate, mean he transcends beyond that, meaning to say he is then not interested in that fruits of this material pleasures and material objects. So if that be so, what Bhagavan says, if that be so, a person who is not put any abhyasa or vairagya, but he's just got an interest, a desire in this knowledge to get, even if he can cross over the material knowledge and object and come, what about the person who has invested so much in the purva abhyasana in every janma? Kim Partha, Kim what can be said of that? That is the strength of Abhyasa and Vairagya. That's what Bhagavan wanted to say. That's what he meant by Yogasya Jignasu Abhi Shabda Brahma Ativaja. Shabda Brahma is equal to material object or material benefits, fruits of material objects and pleasures. Ativartade, meaning it says he transcends beyond that. Even for a person who is only interested, but what to say, not to mention about person who has really put lot of Abhyasa, Vairagya and has practiced it. So that's what we says. And then Bhagavan further he says more how about the self prayatnam. That's where today's 43, 44, 45 is all about one's self effort. Prayatnat yatamanastu yogi samshuddha kilbishah aneka janma samsiddhihi tato yati param gatim. Once more. Prayatnat yatamanastu yogi samshuddha kilbishah aneka janma samsiddhihi tato yati param gatim. So Bhagavan says, tu, however, prayatnat, from that individual effort that you apply. And one thing we must always find it, whatever the condition, I may be born in my house with my family, my wife or your husband or my son or daughter, your prayatnam is your own prayatnam. Everybody, it cannot be shared. The spiritual knowledge, that is why it is so material efforts, material acquisition, whatever, that is shared, that can be shared, but spiritual knowledge cannot be shared. That is why swaprayatnam is so important. That is why you find saint in so many houses, right? Two brothers, two sisters, but one is very much intended into this, other one may not be. Not to say to compare anyone, but you can observe it yourself because you have taught this samskara from so many janma. Always think about it. Today I'm doing Gita or studies because something is pulling me from so many births which has come from, and that is my true identity. Not in this Janma just because my name is Devina or Ganapati Ram. It is something that beyond this name and my identity that is bringing me, that I will not let it go because that is my true effort in every Janma. That is why Swaprayatnam is so important. So, Prayatnat, from that effort of the self effort, At Prayatnat Yatamanaha. Yatamanaha, applying it himself or herself, Yatamanaha yogi. Thus, we are all yogi in this because you are doing the prayatnam with the yatamanaha, with having applied that one, with the time and whatever efforts you do. He and she is still a yogi. How does it happen? Samshuddha kilbishaha. Kilbishaha means what? That impurities that every janma that we get. And samshuddha, meaning to say, having cleansed all that. Going back to the drawing, I said, the reducing of the bad effect and dharma, and expanding more and more on the yoga spiritual knowledge, that wisdom. Kilbishaha, some should the cleansing of that bad effect, and even to a certain extent punya karma also. So these are all, keep it when Bhagavan says sarva dharman parityajya. So some should the kilbishaha Aneka janma samsiddhi. Aneka janma samsiddhi. By countless janma that we have brought this samskara, where we have progressed cumulatively, that yoga samsiddhi, that one, that as that one is more and more getting stronger, your spiritual progression, which Bhagavan brings, avashaha api, without even you having to put it, it is guaranteed. That's what is Bhagavan guarantee. Bhagavan's guarantee is not because I'm today in a big house, tomorrow he's going to bring in a big house. That's not Bhagavan's guarantee. Bhagavan's guarantee is on the spiritual progress. So, aneka janma samsiddhi. By this, on cumulative progress through multiple janma, by bringing that one, tataha, with that progression, that tataha, param gatim yati. He gets the ultimate goal of that particular moksha. So with this shloka 45, Bhagavan concludes how that person attains the moksha at the end with the aneka janma samsiddhi. And at what janma we will get it? How many janma? It's up to Krishna. He knows it. We leave it to him. But I will put this swaprayatnam. And the minute I'm doing this, Bhagavan says, you are also a yogi because you are putting this with a spiritual progress, not for the material progress. And then again, Bhagavan does the prasamsha or the stuti of this particular Atmasam yogi, and he finishes this chapter, and we will finish it thus. तपस्विभ्यादिको योगी तपस्विभ्यादिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्मात् योगी भवार्जुन. Once more. तपस्विभ्यादिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्मात् योगी भवार्जुन. Okay. So Bhagavan now again does a stuti or prasamsa or and bringing the mahatva of this particular yogi, Atmasamyam yogi. So he says, this Arjuna, this particular Atmasam yogi, in tapasvibhyaha, in comparison to people who have done lots and lots of austerities, given compared to that person, he is adikaha, meaning to say he is superior. Is superior. And jnanibhyaha api adikaha. Here Jnanibhyaha means don't think that the Atma Samyama Yoga Jnanam, that Jnani. Here Jnani means learned scholars with the Shastra Pandityam. He's a scriptural knowledge. He's only a learned scholar in the, by the scriptural knowledge. That Jnani is saying here. But because he has not done the Abhyasa and Vairagya, only book knowledge. Or he knows Vyakaranam, he knows all these things, or all these things he knows. But even in comparison to him, if he has done the Abhyasa and Vairagya, that yogi is Adhikaha. And also, Karmibhyaha cha Adhikaha. Karmibhyaha here means not Karma Yogibhyaha. Please. Here Karmibhyaha means Agnihotradi. That is one who has done all the effort, karma, but with the effort of getting fruits from thereof. But he has done with dharma and everything. With dharma, he has done all the dharma margena, and the dharma probably has done all the material benefit, but he has never really wanted to get into that moksha, and he has not had. Even in comparison to that person, this jnani Atma Samyam yogi is adhikaha. So Bhagavan says, hey Arjuna, mataha. This is the me mataha. This is my opinion. This is Bhagavan's opinion. Tasmat. Therefore, Arjuna, Tasmat Arjuna, Tvam Yogi Bhava. Become this Atma Samyama yogi by doing Abhyasa and Vairagya. And Uddared Atmanatmanam. Then he said that one. And also he says once more, yes, I have said Yoginam, but I am also here to help you. To say that, Bhagavan finishes with the shloka number 47. He says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmanam shadhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Once more, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmanam Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yuktatamo mataha. So Bhagavan says, Yaha, one who is, number one, again, first one, Shraddhavan. One who has got this ultimate dedication and complete diligence with conviction into the scripture and the Guru's Vakyam, Shraddhavan. So with that one, and then what is also Matgatena. This Bhagavan says, Matgatena means what? In the gati towards me, Bhagavan Vasudeva, Narayana, Bhagavan, with that complete surrender unto me. With complete surrender unto me, how? Antaratmana. With all this inner faculties, not just external one. It's completely internally surrendered into Krishna internally. And with that complete conviction from internal, from his mind and his buddhi and everything is all endowed in that Ishvara alone. Antaratmana, number 5. Mam, number 6. Bhajate. Meaning to say, one who has surrenders and then takes my help. I'm here to give him that one, to upliftment. Mam bhajate with jnana purvena. That's why he says jnana purvena. Saha, here, number 7. Saha, number 8. Sarvesham, number 9. Yoginam. Of all the yogi, Sarvesham yoginam api yuktatamaha is the wisest person who is with well convinced. Yuktatamaha me mataha. This is my opinion, because with that surrender unto Lord, with that complete conviction that moksha is all, Bhagavan, you are there in all your kalyana rupam, in all your kalyana guna, and that one who has given me this guarantee. So I have that vishwasa in you. along with that, when I'm doing my abhyasa and vairagya, with that complete conviction of getting that moksha, he says, Arjuna, he is a yuktatama mataha, because for him, I bring him very shigram, in very rapid motion, to the moksha marga, into making the advancement in every birth to aneka janma samsiddhihi param gatim. That's what Bhagavan again he says, because Arjuna may think, okay, everything Bhagavan said swaprayatnam, when will how this will, so Bhagavan reassures him from this sloka 46 and 47, saying that I'm also here, Arjuna, and yuktatamaha, meaning to say yuktatama is also being very wise, intelligent. Take the effort. The biggest effort Bhagavan is giving himself. So take your full self effort plus the Bhagavan's effort by surrendering unto him and taking his teachings and applying it. He says he is a Yuktatamaha. He is the greatest, wisest person by which he becomes an ultimate yogi for moksha. Like that, Bhagavan finishes in this particular chapter. In most of the chapters, you will find this Bhagavan again and again. He will say that if this particular surrender unto him, and also that he is there to help him literally in any form that you want to take him. He is available. That's what he is giving you again. So with that, we will finish this Atma Samyama Yoga, and we'll just finish. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Atma Samyama Yogo Nama Shashtodhyaya. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat. So I will do a complete summary of the chapter 6, not next week. Next week, I've got some guests coming over. So I will do week after that. Hmm. So this is 9 plus, so 23rd. Yeah. So 14 plus, yeah, 23rd of June, I will do the summary of chapter 6. And until then, you can again go through that. Now, today, any of you have any doubt in this yoga brashta or anything that we have seen so far, please, I'm happy to clarify. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, fine. I'll stop recording and we'll go to the Gita Mahatmyam. Ata